It's just been announced that Kevin Love will not play in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. For those of you that are out of the loop, in Game 2, Kevin Love suffered a concussion. In Game 2, he got hit in the back of the head with an elbow when he was going for a rebound. He remained down on the play, and Draymond Green actually got an and one layup during that sequence. At the time, they didn't think he had a concussion. They took him out of the game. He was a little shaken up. They put him back into the game, and that's when they knew they had to start the process because he was showing symptoms of a concussion. He was disoriented, confused on defense. He didn't really know where he was, and ever since that moment, they've been waiting for him to be cleared of all symptoms so that he could play, but he has not been cleared yet going into Game 3, so he will not play tonight. And if you remember last year, Klay Thompson had a concussion. He had it before the NBA Finals in the last game, the clinching game, and many people thought he wouldn't be able to play in that first game of the Finals, but he was cleared of the symptoms in time. They had enough days. He passed all the tests, so he was able to play, but Kevin Love will not be able to play. Of course, this is bad news for Cleveland, but at the same time, it might be good news, just maybe. Because now LeBron James, with one of his star players injured, he knows that he can't pass this ball. He can't come out in this first quarter passing, looking to pass. He's got to play that desperate basketball. And that's what LeBron did last year. He had no Kyrie, no Kevin Love, so he was playing desperate basketball, putting up big numbers. And when you think about it, the finals this year, it's actually really embarrassing. Because last year they had less and they did more. The first two games of the series went into overtime. Kyrie got injured in Game 1. That game went into overtime. But even in Game 2, when he didn't have Kyrie and he didn't have Kevin Love, that game went to overtime. They won that game. Then Game 3, when they came home, they won that game as well. So last year, they were up 2-1, and now they're down 2-0. And they cannot afford to lose. If they lose tonight, they're getting swept. It's as simple as that. There will not be a Game 5. They will get swept if they don't win Game 3. So tonight's game should be very entertaining because LeBron has no option but to play desperately. He's got to score tonight. He's got to dominate the game. He has to at least attempt to dominate the game. So you know it's going to be entertaining. Whenever you see LeBron huffing and puffing, getting mad, trying to take it over in the post, getting slams, scoring, that is the Cleveland Cavaliers you want to watch play. And then maybe, just maybe, if they see his desperation, his teammates will make some shots. Maybe J.R. Smith will score over 10 points. Maybe Kyrie can drop 20 or 30. Maybe Fry off the bench, or actually maybe Fry will start tonight. Maybe Fry can pop a couple of threes. Tonight is also going to be interesting because we get to see if Tyronn Lue is actually a good coach or not. This is a big game. This is the most important game of the series for the Cavs. If they don't have a strategy, a different strategy than they've had in the first two games, then Tyronn Lue needs to go. He cannot be the coach of this team. He's going to earn his money, his role tonight with what he does. Even if the Cavs lose tonight, that doesn't necessarily mean that Tyronn Lue is a bad coach. It depends on how they lose. What did they attempt? What in-game adjustments will he make? Because so far in the first two games of this series, they haven't really made any adjustments in-game. They tried to tweak some stuff from Game 1 to Game 2. In Game 2, they were a lot more aggressive. They were attacking the paint. That was the adjustment. The only problem is that the Warriors were blocking everything. It was a block party. Andrew Bogut in that first quarter had so many blocks. They were just aggressive, so physical in the paint. And Lue had no answer. He made no adjustments. They didn't do anything differently. And as the game went on, the longer it went on, the lead grew and grew and grew. So we get to see if he's a good coach tonight with whatever he does. I think the easiest adjustment to make is to simply put LeBron James on Draymond Green. You have to take away that pick and roll. You cannot allow them to run this pick and roll and get all these wide open dunks and layups, allow Green to shoot threes. Because when they have this matchup, if you have LeBron on Draymond Green, I've said it already, you can just switch and now you got LeBron on Steph Curry. And LeBron has done a great job in this series on Steph Curry when he's been switched on to him. Curry hasn't really been able to score whenever LeBron is switched on, so that's a good matchup. You need to at least make this adjustment and give yourself a chance to win tonight. But either way, this series is just not that great. Last year, the Cavs, at least they competed. You had guys like Della Vadova. Remember, he was a hero. He was shutting down Steph Curry in a couple of games. How do they have that fire last year to play that well and to compete that hard, even though they were missing a lot of offensive firepower? How did they play that hard and keep those games competitive, at least the first 3 games? But this year, with more firepower, they're not even competing. These games aren't even close. And there's no excuse for that, because even the Houston Rockets, they put up a better fight. The Portland Trail Blazers put up a fight. A lot of those games were competitive, but then in the 3rd or 4th quarter, the Warriors would close it out. But at least they were competing. All these other teams were competing. The Cavs are not competing right now. Even my boy Allen Iverson with the terrible Philadelphia 76ers team. That team was so trash, I bet you can't name the starting lineup without looking it up on Google. Even Allen Iverson, he beat the Lakers. He won a game in the finals. The Lakers rolled through the playoffs. They were undefeated in the playoffs. They took everybody out, and yet even Allen Iverson and those trash 76ers won a game in the finals. If LeBron gets swept, there's no excuse. He got swept in 2007. He was young. That team was trash. They had Larry Hughes. That team was trash. But this team, there's no excuses. You have to win at least 1 game. Even last year, you won 2 games. There's no excuses. Let me know if you believe in Cleveland. Can they win game 3 tonight? And Steph Curry's on the bench. He's playing video games. Did you see that celebration? He's on the bench playing NBA 2K. That's disrespectful, LeBron. You can't go out like this. Even though the Cavs don't have the personnel to play this way, I think they need to just start switching every pick and roll.